overload. A spokeswoman says the city is experiencing unusually high volume of 911. A bigger picture is coming into focus for us. The storm came ashore about right here, lower part of New Jersey, and from Atlantic City and to the north, all the way out on Long Island, the water is pushing in, and an epic natural disaster is coming into focus. It's our belief now, from the reporting of our correspondents and others all along this coastline, that all of these beach communities are being inundated, that roads are washing out, that basements are being flooded, that the biggest city in the United States is now being flooded, that the power is out on the southern shore of it. Their subway systems are out in all the major cities in the northeastern United States, and the storm is still churning and expected to continue to churn now for days. The storm surge has been higher than ever in the history of this region, and higher than they were predicting even a short few hours ago. The great storm of 2012 is coming ashore, and we'll have you covered all night. Hannity is next, and a special live 2-hour Greta, and we're live all night on America's Choice for news and information.
And this is a Fox News alert. Sandy has made landfall along the southern New Jersey coast. The storm is now a monster nor'easter, but the storm is still very powerful, very dangerous. Now, the National Hurricane Center is reporting tonight that the storm has sustained winds of 80 miles per hour. Now, tonight, more than 1.5 million people are without power all along the East Coast. And at this moment, Lower Manhattan is in the dark. Rick Reichmuth is in our Fox News Extreme Weather Center tonight. He's tracking the storm's path. Rick.
Sean, I got to tell you that we're saying down there that the storm has been downgraded from a hurricane to a post-tropical storm. It's really confusing, and it's been a messaging nightmare with this storm from the National Hurricane Center. If you hear downgraded, don't believe it. We've got a monster nor'easter on our hands and incredible impacts happening right now. And the winds are extreme out of the east here across areas of Long Island Sound. It's been pushing water all day long here in towards New York City, and that's why we now have significant flooding. I believe we have some live pictures or some pictures out of New York right now into Lower Manhattan, and water is going into the Battery Tunnel right now that connects Lower Manhattan into Brooklyn, and it has now been inundated with water. Getting all kinds of reports of water in the East Village, in the West Village, and it is slowly moving up further in towards the area. I want to show you this wind picture because we're about to see the worst of our situation. Right now we have high tide right there in the Battery. That's that very lower end tip of Manhattan right there. The winds now have switched to the southeast. That means we're going to see the worst of the storm surge pushing in here right at high tide. We already have water levels that are 2 feet higher than we've ever seen. That goes back to a hurricane that was back in 1822 or 1821. So we're almost 200 years, that kind of a storm. It's not just right here. This is the immediate impact, the area that's under dire stress right now. All kinds of reports of major damage. The city of Hoboken in New Jersey is being flooded from the north and from the south. And right here down to the south, the Jersey Shore is taking a beating today. We're talking all about the coastal events right now because that's the impact immediately. But I got to tell you, the next 2 days, we have widespread flooding all across New England. That goes back towards Ohio. Flooding concerns everywhere interior. Also high winds that are going to cause power outage. We're already over 3 million people without power tonight. We're going to see more of that as the storm spreads inland all the way back towards the Great Lakes, where we'll likely see 60 to 70 mile an hour winds off those Great Lakes, causing 20 to 25 foot waves. And the other piece of this, blizzard conditions. By the time this is done, we might see 3 to 4 feet of snow here across a higher elevation. So everybody getting in on this, Sean, across the eastern part of the country. But right now, a very dire situation all across the coast of the Northeast.
All right, Rick, thank you very much. Now, the state of New Jersey took a direct hit when post-tropical storm Sandy came ashore. And our very own Rick Leventhal is in Point Pleasant, New Jersey, right in the middle of all this with the latest conditions there. Rick.
And Sean, conditions got progressively worse throughout the day, beginning early today. And the wind is